Alright, so it's been a while since I last did anything much on this channel. I didn't really realise how popular the Mutation Mondays was, so so I thought I'd make another one. But I just thought I'd fill you in on what I've been kind of up to in 5 years, I guess. So I've moved. This is my new aviary now. I now work full time, so I haven't really had the time to do videos and things like that. So hence why the absence. Just been too busy, really. I also have some budgies and some pigeons in the room with me, so you may hear them sing or coo throughout, so I apologise. I also try not to too much as well. I noticed when watching the last videos I said a lot of ums, so bear with me. But yeah, this is my aviary now. And then to the left here I have a little breeding shed as well, because unfortunately I rent. My main aim would be to have my own house where I can have a whole bunch of aviaries and do rescue work for wildlife and birds and pet birds as well. So yeah, so that's my aviary. Still lots of budgies, still breeding all the rares and things like that, especially Texas Clearbodies, rhesus pieds and grey wings are my focus, and of course showbirds. These are my pigeons. I actually have 5 now. I got introduced to pigeons because of Pete, this little guy in the background here. Pete got handed into my clinic as like a 2-week-old mess and won me over, and he is a story in and of himself, so maybe if people were interested in that I could definitely do that. But they are awesome and make me really happy. Insert video. So anyway, let's get to the actual point of the video today, the Texas Clearbody. This is pretty much my favourite mutation. I know I said opaline was my favourite, and you'll notice that these Texas Clearbodies, all mine have opaline in them, and that's mainly because it's a sex-linked gene, and so is Texas Clearbody, and it's in the same gene, so it's a little bit harder to separate them. And I started with opaline Texas Clearbodies, so yeah. Alright, so this is a Texas Clearbody. He is a violet, I think he's a sky violet. It's a little bit hard to tell. But he's my favourite. Oh, I always have favourites. So ways to identify the mutation. So these are all taken from the World Budgerigar organisation. Budgerigar, yeah. So basically the body colour is reduced from 0 to 50%, often with suffusion gradually increasing towards the caudal end of the body. So here is a grey-green Texas Clearbody. So when they're grey, it removes suffusion. So he has absolutely no body colour, sitting next to just a light green Texas Clearbody. Compared to this boy again, who has quite a bit of suffusion, especially down the back end here. So a good example of that. Facial markings are unaffected, so they just look normal there really. Wing markings can range from normal intensity to slightly diluted, and I find that's much easier to appreciate on a normal marking bird rather than an opaline bird. They tend to have slightly lighter wing markings. The primary wing feathers are diluted to almost white in some birds, and then in other birds it can be a dark grey, but you'll see here, see how this is almost white on this guy. Eyes are normal. Tail is also normal. You'll notice the tails aren't normal in mine, but that's because they're opaline. They've got the little white the white patch. And feet can be grey or mottled according to the WBO, but in my experience they're pink. I don't think I have any with grey or blue feet. So here we go. Here is a light green Texas Clearbody hen. Opaline, of course, pink. Here again you can see the markings are unaffected, nice and dark, but you can see her wing markings are a little bit lighter, and then her flights of course are a light grey. She's quite nicely marked. She doesn't have a lot of suffusion. Here's a grey-green hen. Again, the grey-greens, they don't have a lot of suffusion, and that's because suffusion is caused by the crystalline structure of feathers, and birds that carry the grey mutation have lost that crystalline structure in the feathers, so hence they don't get suffusion. So that's why that's why breeders often recommend breeding greys into your Lutino, Enos, albinos, sorry, and Texas Clearbodies. Here's another girl, posing, looking pretty good. Light green, you can see that on her bottom there, on her rump. This is a baby, and one of the best ways to identify them in the nest when they're coming up young is the light flights. So if you've got those light flights, then it's looking pretty good to be one. That's if you're purposely breeding for it. It can probably be confusing with a spangle, but you've got to remember for the spangle, these two middle feathers here will be white. Yeah, and again, another great way to show those light flights off. You can see a little bit of the darkness, but it's pretty muted. And you can see the back, the rump looks pretty normal under these circumstances when those pin feathers are coming through. Here he is again, just looking cute, and cute again. And oh, by the way, this little guy is actually, he is the little baby of the first guy I showed. This is him as a baby. Interesting point to note, this is a picture of Flash, taken with Flash on. This is a picture without Flash. Same bird, same pose. As you can see, the apple cider vinegar here. Just the difference that Flash shows. So Flash will always bring up your suffusion really brightly. But this guy does have a bit more body colour than most, or than my other ones. He's a little boy, because he's got pink. Pink cere, he's got a pink feet again. This is an example on a yellow-based Texas Clearbody. You can see that again, very white area here. And yeah, an example, a bit blurry, but an example of a grey-green Texas Clearbody hen with a grey-green cock. And sometimes some grey-green greens will look very similar to a Texas Clearbody, but they're not the same. So you just have to look for that. If you see a gradient in colour, so if you see any kind of grey-green on a bird, then it will most likely be a grey-green, because the grey-green Texas Clearbodies don't show any kind of green or grey at all on the body colour. Again, a great example of the lighter coloured flights here. And this is a young nest feather hen. You can see that interestingly, she's got white hair, which faded when she grew up. Quite interesting, I thought. Another grey-green Texas Clearbody cock. Again, you don't see the suffusion on him. This is just a light green Clearbody cock. He's got quite a lot of suffusion, but you can definitely be certain that he is a Texas Clearbody because of the light flights compared to a normal opaline here with dark flights. Two Texas Clearbodies together. This was the little baby that I showed a few slides ago that had the white in the middle. You can still see she has a bit there, but yeah, that's her there. And she's definitely a girl because is a mother now. So, and this is her brother. Just some cuties in the nest, being cute. And this gorgeous fella here, which I was quite impressed with. He's actually a light green. You can see the light green there, and you can also tell because his cheek patches here are violet rather than that greyish blue colour, which is a really good way to tell grey apart. So a grey will always have these sort of grey, light blue kind of cheek patches, and if they don't have the grey mutation, they'll have these violet colours here generally. So there you go, these are all light greens as you can tell from the cheek patches. And you can see the suffusion again with these light green Texas Clearbodies. And then this one is actually a grey-green, but the way the light's reflecting off of here, it's like this greyish blue, but it looks a lot bluer in this picture for some reason. But I just wanted to show how she doesn't have the suffusion there. This is just a grey Texas Clearbody. See, that's the grey grey-blue cheek patch there, and no suffusion. You kind of get a little bit of body colour coming down here in the greys, I've noticed, but it's just not as obvious. Sky blue Texas Clearbody with a cock who's carrying Texas Clearbody. So, of course, if they're carrying Texas Clearbody, because it's a sex-linked recessive gene, it does not show up in a bird that does not have two copies of this gene, except in the case of enos, and we'll get into that a little bit later. The hen from previously with her partner who has split TCB. And I will show you their baby shortly, so you can see she's got grey patch there, so she's got very little suffusion. Well, she's got no suffusion, but some body colour slightly. These are their babies, and normal blue and 2 grey Texas Clearbodies. See the flights, and that's how they came out a little bit later on. They are all opalines, just really poorly marked. He's an opaline. He actually looks more opaline nowadays as an adult. But it can be really, really hard to tell the opaline grey Texas Clearbodies. And again from the side. And again, because just cute. And then, of course, this Mr. Handsome, because we have to finish off on Mr. Handsome. Alright, so breeding expectations. So the Texas Clearbody is a sex-linked recessive gene, is present on the Z chromosome. Male birds have 2 Z chromosomes, so very similar to our X chromosome. Female birds have a Z and a W chromosome, so analogous to an X and Y chromosomes respectively. So it's very interesting that birds kind of swap around, they don't swap around, but they're kind of the opposite to us, and it's just how things kind of evolved, really. The Texas Clearbody is an allele of the Eno gene and is dominant to it. So if a cock has both the Eno and the Texas Clearbody gene, he will appear to be a Texas Clearbody, but he can carry Eno. They cannot carry normal because normal is dominant to both of them. So it really goes, normal is dominant to Texas Clearbody, which is dominant to Eno. Yeah, so you can't have Texas Clearbody carrying 2 Eno genes. It's not possible. Okay, so the Texas Clearbody gene will be represented by a Z with a little t. The normal gene will be represented by a Z or a W in the case of the female. Which can't carry anything. Well, can technically carry some genes, but not in this case that we're looking at. And the Eno gene is represented by a ZI. So if we're going to breed a TCB cock to a normal hen, he's got the 2 TCB genes here, and she's got her normal allele, a normal gene here and her normal W. So he's going to pass down one ZT gene there to here and to here as well, and then this gene is also going to pass down to here and here. So when she passes her genes, we get a ZT here, which will be a normal looking bird, a Z and a ZT here, normal looking bird. But here, because this thing doesn't have any genes to counteract this one, we get 2 little TCB girls. So that's your breeding ratios. Of course, nature's not going to always be perfect like this, but you should, generally all your boys will be normal looking but carrying the Texas Clearbody gene, and all your girls will be Texas Clearbody. Okay, so when we breed a Texas Clearbody hen to a normal cock, basically all birds will come out looking normal. So the cock will send Zs, normal Zs down, and the hen will send Texas Clearbody Zs to the boys and then Ws to the girls, meaning that we will get cocks split to Texas Clearbody but looking normal, and then normal hens. I had to put a green one in there because it wouldn't look right before without a green one, so because green mum. Alright, so if we get a normal Texas Clearbody cock to a normal hen, he's carrying 1 Texas Clearbody gene. So he's going to give out our normal Zs, and then he's going to give out his Texas Clearbody Zs. And the girl, she's going to give out her normal Z there, so we get a normal.
we get a normal split TCB, and then we get a normal girl and a Texas Clearbody girl. So in all intents and purposes, you'll get normal looking males, you'll get, and half of your females will be Texas Clearbodies. I don't like doing this breeding combination because I have no idea what males I'm getting. You can't tell them apart. So, but this is how I started my operation. I literally, about 5-6 years ago, literally, no, more than that, 7 years ago, sorry. No, yeah, 5 years ago. 5 years ago, only was able to get my hands on Texas, normal cock split for Texas Clearbody. And that's how I got more and bred more. I just kept breeding them until I got the hens and bred the hens and things like that. So, yeah, it took a little while, but here we are 5 years later, and I finally got a lot more white birds because I started off with grey-greens like this guy. Okay, so if we do a normal Texas Clearbody cock to a TCB hen, he passes down normal Zs, and then he also passes down his Texas Clearbody Zs, and then she will pass along her Texas Clearbody Zs too. So we'll get normal Texas Clearbodies here, and then normal split Texas Clearbody here, and then we get her W going along. So we get Texas Clearbody hen and normal hen. So basically, all intents and purposes, you get half Texas Clearbodies and half normal, except that half of the boys, instead of just being normal, they'll be carrying Texas Clearbody. Alright, so if we do TCB cock to TCB hen, everything comes out TCB. So pretty easy, because it's a recessive gene. Everything is coming out Texas Clearbody. There you go. This is when it gets kind of tricky / interesting. If you do a Texas Clearbody split Eno cock, which looks like a Texas Clearbody, and you put it to a normal hen, you get a very different kind of set of results. So it can be confusing if you just buy a Texas Clearbody cock from somebody who may not know the breeding history properly, or has used Eno in the past. You may be getting one that's carrying Eno, which is not necessarily a problem. It can just be frustrating at times. I've actually used Enos to increase the size of the Texas Clearbodies. Texas Clearbodies are considered rares in New Zealand, and so at the moment aren't very big. So we're trying to increase the size and get them up to exhibition standard. So let's have a look. So for his Texas Clearbody gene, we do... oh, I'm sorry, I'm going for the girls gene first this time, weirdly. Nice animation skills there. Anyway, let's just go right through it. So he puts his ZT down, and does his ZI, and then she does her normal Z and her normal W. So we're going to get two normal looking boys. One's going to be carrying Texas Clearbody and one's going to be carrying Eno. And then we're going to get a Texas Clearbody hen and an Eno hen. Like that. Okay, so if we do Texas Clearbody Eno cock to an Eno hen. Alright, so he'll be carrying the Texas on this side and the Eno on this side, and will of course appear as a Texas Clearbody. And of course we've got an albino hen here, so he's going to give away his Texas Clearbody to this side, and he's going to give away his IZ to this side, and she's going to give away her ZI and then her normal W. So basically what we get here is we're going to get a Texas Clearbody cock carrying Eno. There you go. We're going to get an albino cock. I don't actually have a picture of an albino cock because I don't really keep them. I've only used the hens to bring up the size, and that's actually a baby picture of her. And then of course we're going to get a Texas Clearbody hen and an albino hen. So half and half pretty much. Now if you do a Texas Clearbody split Eno cock to a TCB hen, you will get a, he will get Texas Clearbody down that side, Eno down this side. I'm going to go T, T, W, W. So pretty much you're going to get all Texas Clearbodies, and half of the girls will be Enos.
like that. So you get a surprise Eno. I suppose this is always a good way to increase your Texas Clearbody numbers if you wanted, and then find out if it's an Eno split or not. You do run the risk of not knowing which cock babies are carrying Eno, but if it's not something you're worried about, then that's okay. You'll always find out later when you breed them. Well, not always, but most of the time. A TCB cock to an Eno hen. So you will basically get all Enos, even though she's giving her, sorry, you'll basically get all Texas Clearbodies. Even though she's giving all her Eno genes away, they are recessive to the Texas Clearbody gene. So you will get, all your cocks will be split, will be TCBs split to Eno, and all the hens will be TCBs. So hens will always show what they are. They can't carry any they can't carry any sex-linked recessive genes, which is nice. Well, technically, they can't carry any Z-linked sex recessive genes. So if you're going to breed an Eno cock to a TCB hen, yes, this is a hen again, but I don't know, we'll just pretend it's a boy, okay? I chose this picture specifically because it was facing away. But anyway, let's pretend he's a boy. Eno cock to a TCB hen, so the cock will give a Eno gene. And I did that animation wrong again, but that's fine. That's okay. So we will get an Eno gene from the boy on each side, and then the hen will give her TCB gene and her W gene. So all the boys will come out as Texas Clearbodies carrying Eno, and all the girls will come out as Eno. So if you've got a normal Eno cock to a TCB hen, pretty much you're only going to get a quarter of babies as as Texas Clearbody, and they will be split to Eno. Everything else will appear normal, with the other cocks being split to Eno. So normal gene here, TCB gene here, Eno gene here. So there we go. So normal carrying TCB, TCB split Eno, normal hen, Eno hen. Just like that. Okay, and that's pretty much it. So yeah, I apologize for the long lapse in presentations. I've just been very busy. I apologize if I've said a million times. I don't really write a script for these. I just kind of do my little PowerPoint presentation and then read it, kind of go through it from there. Yeah, it's just what I like to do. So yeah, so I have some. You can follow me on some of my other pages. I have an Instagram. I have a Facebook page. I also have a TikTok, believe it or not. What else do I have? Oh, I have a Patreon. I will put those links in the description. I haven't quite figured out how to do an end show yet. But yeah, there you go. So yeah, subscribe to me on all those platforms, and that would be super awesome. Yeah, it was, and like and subscribe if you liked this video and you want to see more. I'm thinking of in the future doing not just genetic things, but information about avian health as well. I am a veterinarian, and I do have an interest in avian medicine and avian health, so yeah, I'd be happy to do some just presentations on that too. Yeah, so let me know in the comments, and I will see what I can do. Okay, alright, bye.